What makes more financial sense to you, renting or buying property? Well, in this video, we're going to check out specific homes for sale in Round Rock, estimate their monthly mortgage payments, and then compare those payments against the average rent in Round Rock. We're going to get after it right now. Hey, Daniel here. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. Be happy to help you make that smooth move to Round Rock. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe below. That'll help me reach more people, and you'll be the first to know when I upload a new video. I typically upload new videos every Tuesday and Thursday each week. And it's not just Round Rock, it's surrounding areas. So if you want to find out more about Georgetown or Cedar Park, Leander, I have videos on those areas too. But yeah, cool. Let's jump into the video. All right, so let's check it out. So the first thing we're looking at is what is the average rent currently. And so in Round Rock, past 90 days, we had 525 rental listings close. And the average was 2,137, median 2,095. So 2,100 is about the average middle of the road rent that you can expect in Round Rock, okay? So now we're gonna look at current homes for sale. What I've done here is we're just looking at single family homes in Round Rock, at least 1,200 square feet. Getting under 1,200 square feet, it's pretty small. And then 220,000 to 340,000 as far as the sales price. So that gives us 55 homes currently available in Round Rock that fit that criteria. And you know, it would be a 10-hour video if I go through all 55. So I've just picked 3 kind of somewhat random. So we're going to check these out and figure out their monthly mortgage payments. So this first home listed at $339,400. This is a corner lot, as you can see, which is nice. You'll have more space and more privacy on the corner. Looks like we have engineered hardwood flooring, which is very nice. Tile floors, granite countertops when we get into the kitchen, stainless steel appliances. That all looks great. Okay, carpeted bedrooms. Every bedroom has a fan in it, which is nice. 2 sinks. Can't quite tell the size of that closet from the pictures. It's a nice office space. Utility room, and then you have your white picket fence backyard with a covered patio. Yeah, this is a really nice property. Oh, and you have solar panels too. So, and that's something as a buyer, we can negotiate the seller if they still have to pay that off, having them pay that off in closing. So you basically get free solar panels, which is awesome. So let's plug this in. Let's see how much this would cost. $339,400. We got to know 3 things and kind of estimate the monthly mortgage payment. The price, $339,400. The tax rate, 2.35, and the HOA fee, $55 monthly. So let's plug those numbers in. $339,400. So this app I'm using is Independence Title. It's a title agency that I use. They're a nationwide title agency, but they created an app which is super helpful. $339,400. And I use this on my phone. So when we look at homes, I can pull it up and show you exactly, you know, what the payment will be. Interest rate. The way I find this is I look at the Mortgage News Daily website. This updates daily. And we're going to do an FHA loan. That's typical for a first-time home buyer. And that video is directed towards people who are renting, wondering if buying is better for them. So I would advise you go for the 30-year FHA loan, which is today currently at 6.3% for a top tier. So 6.3% for our interest rate. We'll do 30-year. Taxes was, I already forgot, 2.3529. 2.3529. And then HOA was $55 monthly. And let's say we're going to close in a month. All right, this will probably be quite high. Oh yeah. So monthly payment is estimated at $3,126. That includes your principal and interest. Principal is the loan, and then interest is the interest. Your taxes, property taxes you have to pay. Insurance, this is just kind of a guesstimate on your insurance. Might go a little high, a little lower. MIP is mortgage insurance premium. If you don't pay up to 20% of the value of the home that's covered before you get the loan, then you have to pay the mortgage insurance. So later in life, once you do have a 20% down payment, you won't need to pay that. And then HOA, right, $55 a month. So looking at bring to close, we have our down payment, which is 3.5%, so $11,879 in this case. Prepaids, which is you paying upfront quite a few months of your insurance and your taxes. The lender just requires you pay a lot of that upfront. And then fixed is basically what you're paying to the lender and the title company for doing all the paperwork, as well as other things, title insurance, title commitment, those types of things. So I will say, because a lot of people don't know this, they'll look at that and go, I don't have $24,000. Well, in this current market, you can negotiate the seller paying a lot of your closing costs because it's a buyer's market right now. There's a lot of homes for sale, they're not moving, so buyers have more negotiating power. What I've had success doing is getting all or most of my buyer clients' closing costs paid for by the seller. So in this instance, I would negotiate that they pay whatever that is, about $12,000. And so you would get the home for a down payment of just $11,879. Okay, there's a couple more things you'd have to purchase. I would encourage you to do an inspection that goes about $400. An appraisal goes about $450. So, roughly $13,000 total, bringing to close. But this is a high monthly mortgage payment, especially if you can rent for $2,100. This is pretty high. So let's see if we can find something lower. So the second home we're looking at, listed at $324,900. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1-story home, 1,500 square feet. 2-car garage. It's got a cool, it's a cool design. With a fireplace in the middle. This looks like luxury vinyl plank flooring, which is great. Waterproof, scratch proof. Really cool kitchen. It's just an interesting design. Very different design than most homes you'll see. Really nice bathroom. 2 sinks, that's great. And again, a lot of these homes have virtual staging. That's why you suddenly aren't seeing things, furniture and such. So yeah, this is a vacant house. I like it. Bay windows, nice big backyard. Not a covered back patio, but it's fine. Cool. So let's check out the numbers on this one. Okay, this is $324,900. 1.7. That's a really low tax rate, so that's fantastic. And then I don't see an HOA fee. Now, the listing agent just may have forgot to put that there, but sometimes these homes don't have HOAs. So let's check it out. 1.7, 324,900. 324,900. And we said 1.7, so low tax rate. That's very good. And no HOA. Okay, this came down quite a bit, so now we're looking at the mid 2,700s. And then bring to close, down payment, not too different, $11,371. Again, we can negotiate to get all or most of this paid for by the seller. So you get this for about $13,000 down total cash to close, with $2,700, $2,800 a month. Okay, so let's look at one more. Looking at this before recording, this was the best one I could see. 1109 Terrace Street. They are at $280,000. Now the reason they did a big price drop, right? It was at $340. Now it's at $280. They were on the market for 160 days. And the reason for that is there are known foundation issues. Now, a lot of people run the other way when they hear foundation issues. I've been in this long enough to know that there's a wide range of foundation issues. And so I would encourage us to look at this because it's such a good deal, get an inspection done and see how bad the foundation issues are, because you can get foundations repaired. They can put rods in to stop it from sliding, from adjusting. And those work extremely well. So that's not a deal breaker to me. It was when I first got into real estate. I was like, stay away from foundation issues. But after being in it longer, like, they're not all the same. Okay. So 280,000, we're looking at 1.75. Awesome. And 213 annually. I forgot all those numbers I just said. 280. Okay. This is definitely going to be the best deal. We're going with 1.75 and then 280 and was it annually? 213. I don't know where I got that from. 213 annually. Okay. Much lower. Okay, now we're getting closer to the actual rent amount, so we would be looking at, so 2,400, and then down payment is 9,800. Again, closing costs. In this current market, we can negotiate. This isn't all markets, okay? So like when I bought my house in 2021, I got a great interest rate, but I got no incentives from the seller. So I had to pay all of my closing costs up front. Now the interest rates are higher, but that means you have more leverage to negotiate the seller, pay for more stuff up front, which is great. I think it's a fair trade-off. So I would say for this home, plan about 11,000, 12,000 to pay the down payment plus inspection, appraisal, those types of things at the beginning. Definitely want an inspection when there's foundation issues. You don't want to go into a money pit, obviously. So let's look at this one and see, is this a better investment buying this as opposed to renting for, let's say, 5 years? So this is how we figure that out. The first thing we look at is how much are we going to have left on the loan at the end of this. So let's figure out the loan amount. The home was 280,000 and we put 3.5% down, right? Which was 9,800. So 280 minus the down payment is 270,200. That's the loan amount. That's how much you're getting from the bank, or the lender, I should say. 6.3, we're gonna do a 30-year loan. You can do a 15-year loan, it's just gonna make your monthly mortgage payment higher. I always encourage people, if you can overpay, like get a 30-year, just pay more to bring down that principal faster. That's always a great idea. Okay, so we're looking at this. After year 5, the ending balance for your loan is at 252,347 from 270. Okay, so 252,347 is how much you owe the bank at the end of 5 years. Say you're wanting to move in 5 years. Now the other aspect of this is how much did the home appreciate, because typically homes go up in value year over year. In the Austin area, we've seen 4% is the average year over year appreciation. So for a $280,000 home, we see $340,662 is the estimated worth of the home, meaning at fair market value, you can sell this home for $340,000 basically in 5 years. Okay. So the real question is, at the end of all of that, when you sell the home in 5 years, how much money do you make? And so there's two things we need to take away from that. $340,000, typically it costs about 7% of the sales price to sell a home. Mainly on the seller side, that's paying agents to buy and sell the house, and closing costs, okay? So 340,000, I'll do the exact, 340,662, multiply that by 0.07, and we're looking at roughly 24,000. So now that is, math, 316, there we go, 316,000. But then we need to pay the bank back, right? So after 5 years, we're owing this. So 316,000 minus 252, you're looking at 64,000. So you have netted $64,000 at the end of owning this home for 5 years, which is a great investment because you started with basically $10,000 out of your pocket. And now you have $64,000 from just paying your monthly mortgage payment, okay? Now you might argue, well, yeah, but it's still $2,400 a month. Like I want to spend $2,000 a month, $2,100 a month. Let's go even lower. Let's say $2,000, right? $2,000 a month. That means you're saving roughly $400 a month. And so 400 times 60 is 24,000. I say times 60 because there's 60 months in 5 years. So you have saved 24,000 from paying 2,000 in rent versus 2,400 in mortgage. I say this because most people don't save that money. They just use that money for other things, right? Whereas this, the savings kind of built into it. So you actually get something out of paying the mortgage as opposed to you rented for that much, you save for $24,000, but really at the end of that, you have nothing. You haven't actually, unless you've been saving $400 a month, which I have yet to meet that person, you probably have less than 24,000, but let's just say 24,000. Even if you did that, you're still much lower than what we had with the 63,000. So, you know, it does make more financial sense to do this. It's complicated. It's a pain in the ass. I get it. If you don't quite understand how real estate works, you know, I used to be a teacher for 10 years. And when I first moved to Austin, I rented a house for 4 years before becoming a real estate agent. And I just kicked myself. I was like, why didn't I just buy a house? And it was purely because I didn't understand the process. I thought, well, I can't afford it, or I can't afford a real estate agent. Full disclosure, when you use a real estate agent, the seller typically pays all of their fees. So like, you can contact me, have a conversation with me, have you, I'll be your advisor, show you homes, negotiate offers well for you. You're not paying me anything. So I didn't know that whenever I was renting. I thought it's just, well, you need to save up tens of thousands of dollars and then you can buy a house. And that's not the case. So that's why I want to do this video, kind of educate people who are currently renting, thinking of buying. It is a great market to buy in. And yeah, if I can be help in any way, please reach out. Be happy to give you more information. Thank you for watching my video today. If you want to stay updated about the current Austin and Round Rock market, please hit that subscribe button below to be the first to hear about it. And check out some of my other videos too. I have a lot of vlog tours that I do in Round Rock. I've done some map tours, market reports, that sort of thing. So check those out. If you're not quite finding what you're looking for, please reach out to me directly. Be happy to help you find exactly what you're looking for. And remember, it doesn't matter if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. All of that information is in the description below. Until next time, hope to see you around town.